Good morning and welcome to Earnings Echo. While my bosses were asleep, we put together the most important information about AMD.
And honestly, this one is a bit of a head-scratcher. It really highlights the curse of being the good student in a class full of geniuses.
I like that analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the report card first. We're talking about the Q4 2025 results. They dropped yesterday, February 3rd.
Right. And just looking at the headline numbers, everything seems golden.
Absolutely. Record revenue of $10.3 billion US dollars.
Yeah.
They beat what Wall Street expected on, both revenue and earnings.
By all traditional metrics, they crushed it. A solid beat on the top and bottom lines.
But the market didn't care at all.
Not one bit.
I checked the after-hours trading, and the stock just nosedived, down about 6 or 7%.
Yeah, around there. And it feels like this is becoming a painful tradition for AMD. It really is the AMD curse at this point.
So they bring home a straight report card for the past few months.
That's the retrospective strength, exactly. But then they start talking about the future, and investors get an allergic reaction.
So let's figure out what spooked everyone. It wasn't what they did, it's what they said they're going to do. The guidance for Q1 2026.
Exactly. They're forecasting about $9.8 billion for the current quarter.
Which is lower than Q4.
It is. And in this hype cycle, conservative is a dirty word. The market wanted a moonshot forecast, and AMD gave them a safe, grounded number.
Okay, but why the dip? Is there a specific hole in the boat dragging that forecast down?
There is, and it's roughly the shape of the map of China. We call it the China factor. AMD was very open that sales for their AI accelerators in that specific region are falling off a cliff.
We're talking about those specific chips, right? The MI308s that were modified to comply with export regulations.
Those are the ones. And the drop is, well, it's brutal. They went from selling about $390 million worth last quarter to a projection of just $100 million in Q1.
Wow. That's not a dip. That's a 75% collapse in a single product line. It is. And it's murky, whether that's just strict regulations or if Chinese companies just don't want the watered down chips anymore.
Either way, it signals for investors that the China revenue stream is drying up.
Exactly.
Okay, so China is the anchor. But what about the engine, the data center business, the stuff powering all this AI?
Objectively, it's a beast. That segment grew 39%.
See, that's what I don't get. In any other universe, 39% growth is champagne-popping territory.
Yeah.
Why is the market turning its nose up at that?
Because AMD lives in NVIDIA's universe.
Right.
When your main competitor is posting astronomical triple-digit growth, your 39% looks, well, pedestrian. The market is penalizing AMD for running a 4-minute mile just because the guy in the next lane is running a 3-minute mile.
Rough neighborhood. Let's talk about profitability, though. They hit a record non-GAAP gross margin of 57%. That means they're keeping more than half of every dollar they make. That should be bullish. It should be. But there's anxiety about the cost of staying in the race. To keep hitting those margins and chasing NVIDIA, AMD has to burn cash on research and development.
And investors are worried that heavy R&D pressure is going to eat into that short-term profit.
That's the fear.
Speaking of the tech race, there were a lot of whispers before the call that their next big chip, the MI450, was delayed. Did they clear that up?
They did. CEO Lisa Su didn't mince words. She shut down the rumors and said the roadmap is on track. She was clearly trying to tell the market, don't panic, the hardware is coming.
So we have a roadmap defense, an earnings beat, record margins, and a stock drop. This sounds like pure psychology.
It's a classic sell the news setup. The stock had rallied before the earnings came out. Everyone was betting on a win.
So a good report wasn't good enough.
Nope. When the price is already that high, good gets you sold. The market demanded phenomenal, and since the outlook was just okay, traders took their profits and ran.
So to boil this all down, what is the core echo here for our listeners?
Yeah, I think the echo is that AMD is fundamentally a strong company. They are executing well, they're making money, but their stock price is currently capped by two things: the collapsing sales in China and an impossibly high bar set by Wall Street expectations.
They're running a great race, but the market keeps moving the finish line further away.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Tough break for the runner-up. And finally, the obligatory disclaimer. All content in Earnings Echo is AI-generated information and does not constitute investment advice. Investing involves risks. We assume no liability for your investment decisions. Do your own research before taking action. Numbers checked, portfolio prepped. Catch you again soon.